Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now, one of the most commonly asked questions on this channel is how do I display this, the CPU usage, GPU usage and RAM usage when I'm testing out budget systems, graphics cards or processors. Well, today I'm going to tell you how you do it and talk about why you might want to. So let's get straight into it and start off with the initial installation process. So the program is of course MSI Afterburner. Now this is completely free and can be downloaded from MSI's website. What you want to do is just load up the site here, head on over to the Downloads tab and begin the download process of this program. Once it's downloaded, perhaps a little faster if your internet isn't as bad as mine is, you can go ahead and open up the zipped file folder using WinRAR or WinZip or whatever your preferred method. And then we can begin the installation process. Now, one thing I will say here, one very important step to remember is of course to select both MSI Afterburner and Rivtuner statistics server, as you can see here, as both are necessary for this to work 100% successfully. So go ahead and follow the steps here, just clicking next, and when the Rivtuner statistics server installation box pops up, be sure not to dismiss it as just a pop-up from MSI itself, as it is a separate installation after Afterburner has completed. I'll show you what that will look like right now. And as you can see, it may be easy to miss because it pops up just as MSI finishes installing. So go ahead and accept these agreements here. Click next, create any shortcut if you wish, and your destination folder. And then we can get into the program itself. So as that finishes, open up MSI Afterburner from your desktop or wherever you installed it, and you may be greeted with something that looks like this. I'm actually going to change the look of MSI here, something you can do as well, as I feel that it's easier to work with something more simple. So simply click on this settings wheel here, scroll along to user interface, and under the interface skin section here, I would recommend selecting something like MSI version 3 or V3 skin big edition. It's not a necessity, but I find that this setup is easier to work with. So this is where the fun bit begins. Click on the settings button on Afterburner here, go to the third tab along or the monitoring tab, and here you can select which items you'd like to view when it comes to running your games. Now I like to see every individual core's performance in game, so I'm going to click on CPU 1, CPU 2, CPU 3, CPU 4 all the way through to CPU 12, but of course this will vary depending on your processor. Now where it says in OSD here, this stands for on-screen display, and when you first fire up Afterburner this won't be automatically selected, so you have to tick this show on-screen display box here for everything that you want to view on screen. Remember to do this, otherwise you'll be wondering why your statistics aren't showing up in gameplay. Again, do this for GPU as well, remembering to click show in on-screen display here, and do this for the frame rate should you want to display that, as well as the RAM. Now all of these options are pick and choose, and you can decide what you want to see in your games, but always remember, as I say, to tick this show in on-screen display box. So once you're happy with your selection, and after you've remembered to click the showing on screen display box for all of your choices, of course, I can't reiterate that enough, click OK and minimize MSI Afterburner. Now remember Rivtuner statistics server that we installed at the same time, the one that I told you to watch out for the pop-up? Well, that opens automatically with Afterburner and you'll find it minimized in your system tray. Go ahead and open this up, and here we're only going to use one option at the moment, and that is the size of the on-screen display. You see that number 60 there? Well, there's a simple slider down here that allows you to change the size of that. We're not going to mess around with too many advanced options in Rivtuner here. We're just going to adjust the size of the on-screen display here. This will just make things a little bit easier to read in your games, especially at higher resolutions. And that's it. Once you're done, you can minimize Rivtuner. You can also change the color of the on-screen display and the position on screen if you like, but for now we're going to leave it as it is. Minimize that to the system tray along with Afterburner, and now we're ready to get back into some games. So why might you want to use a piece of software like this? Well, it gives us a good indication as to our GPU and CPU usage. which may be fundamental into finding out which piece of hardware is holding our system back. For example, if your CPU usage is at 100% pretty much all of the time and your GPU usage isn't very high, then it may be that your CPU needs an upgrade and is holding your graphics card back a little. The same can be said for the RAM usage as well. It will let you know how much system RAM your games are using, and VRAM too. That's a good one to have on display because it will let you know how much of your graphics card VRAM the game is using at any given time. So I think that these are very helpful to have, even if you just use them as a diagnostics tool for a poorly behaving or performing PC. Thank you for watching, guys. This has been very different, but a lot of you have been asking about this piece of software, so I thought I'd make a video for any of you who want to try this out for yourselves and see just how your CPU, GPU and RAM are being utilised in games. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, leave a dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll be back with another piece of PC hardware very soon.